Welcome to the True Love Secrets Revealed online summit. Meet Laura Patricia Martin, the extraordinary mind behind Healing to Happy, where she helps high-achieving women both attract and keep romantic love. Welcome, Laura. I am so excited to have you.
Oh my goodness, it is a gift to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh my goodness, thank you. So tell us a little bit, if you don't mind. Let's start with I love this feminine energy. So, how to receive from a man and be in our feminine energy?
Yeah, the biggest thing, I think it's so overused in the market nowadays. It's like just receive, lean back, take it in, like let him take care of you, especially as a high performer. You have to feel safe in your nervous system to be able to do that. You have to feel good with yourself. You have to be taking care of yourself. You have to know how to, slow down, feel safe after years of, I'm assuming if you're a high achiever like us here, you've been providing for yourself for so long. You're not used to anyone looking out for you. You're not used to anyone checking in on you or making sure that you're safe because you've had to do it for yourself for so long, which is why you're a high performer and a high achiever, because that's ultimately what led us here. Because I don't know a high achiever that hasn't built her success off the back end of something traumatic happening. So
Right.
if we're looking to receive, something I always work with my clients on is how safe are we? Like, is our nervous system truly regulated to relax? Do you know how to just do nothing for a little bit by yourself, read a book, savor food, slow down a little bit, go for walks without having to make it do something or fix something or any of those kind of things. Like, start with self first. And then when you're with a man, it's going to be like, of course you can open my door. Of course you can pay for my meals. Of course you can do these things because I am worthy of this and I feel deserving. Because oftentimes the root of I can't receive is I don't feel worthy and I
Mm.
don't feel lovable. And so when we actually get deep into the nervous system and heal that, receiving just becomes nature. Like, it's the running joke in my pre-housewife era community where it's like we just go out and men just want to buy us stuff and take care of us and they're just picking up our bags and carrying our groceries. I'm like, that's what happens when you feel safe. You become this magnet to receive and be taken care of.
Oh my God, I love it. I love it. What is that pre-housewife?
Pre-housewife era. Yeah. So that's actually the trademark that our brand has. So there's two parts of it. So there's one side of it that at this age, when you're in your like 30s, late 20s, you're looking to slow down, be a wife, come home to self, make some babies, do the thing. But it's these high performers, these highly masculine. I don't really know how to do that. Like, am I allowed to just want to be home and make some babies and do that and have my husband take care of the house and or provide for the house while I just chill because I have this mission on my heart? And so there's one side of it where it's, how do you actually move from me to we? So a big thing that I see in the modern dating world post-COVID is there was a lot of influx of information that we were given that
Right.
were supposed to help us to help others. Instead, what it did was we are now distancing ourselves from other, being like, you're a narcissist, this is a red flag, this is my trauma, this is my trigger, so you have to act this way. Versus in the pre-housewife era, which if you're watching this or you're listening to it, our foundations are the triangle. So the bottom is the living sanctuary, the right side is the savage CEO, and the left side is the sacred slut. So it's the science of attraction. And so when you can actually embody all three of these, you're just like a magnet to men. But the bottom is the living sanctuary. And so when you can actually use the tools and you become the securely attached person, you are no longer protecting your traumas and your triggers. So you're not sitting here telling your man how he has to act because you've been through some type of trauma in your life, and therefore your masculine shield is trying to protect you and doing all these things. You actually have done so much healing that you have more compassion for your partner. You can understand who they are. And now it becomes this, instead of me focus, which is what the COVID model gave us, to we. I now understand us and you, and I'm no longer red flag scanning. I am just a good teammate and a partner. So that's the first side of it. The second side of it is, I still have impact. I don't necessarily want to just be a housewife and do nothing. I still want to make money. So I specialize in marketing and automation and funnels so that you know, you work your butt off for 6 months, but then you get to, like, I post reels and stuff. I'm like, I'm cooking dinner and I'm making 4 figures, 5 figures. Like, you're just out at the grocery store. You're like nourishing your body. You're doing these things because you've automated your business. So you actually have the time freedom and you can still make the impact while still going to soccer practice and never missing a date night and doing those things. So that's the pre-housewife era.
That I absolutely love. And you missed one, the slut something. What is
Oh,
that?
the sacred slut. So it's the way of being seen. So
Okay.
a lot of us, when it comes to our confidence and our sexual liberation in our bodies, a lot of us have been shamed for that. We're supposed to be seen but not heard, things of that nature. And then when it comes to the other side of things, it's being seen in your authority. A lot of us are good at being liked, but are you good at being loved? And then same thing of being online. You're good at showing up and posting content and people see you, but you're scared of being seen. And this is like, this is what I'm really, really good at. And this is my superpower to the world that is like fully, fully embodied from it. Like, when everyone looks at my content, they're like, how are you so sure about everything you do? I'm like, because I know it works. It's that type of authority. So that would be the sacred slut side of things. It's just like that type of like inner and outer authority.
Oh my goodness, Laura. I love it. Let's
Yeah.
keep talking. You have me hypnotized here.
It's the best. I think we all need it. It's something where I'm just like, you
Amazing.
know,
Yes.
we're in a new era where, you know, we weren't taught how to be wives and mothers, and because our generation didn't have that, you know, it's like our parents were out working, or we were the first product of divorce culture, so we didn't see what happy marriages look like. We didn't see women that actually had businesses and did this kind of thing. Like, it's a whole new wave, and we really do need to be trained how to, one, be women again,
Wow.
and how to do it and still make our impact, because unfortunately we did see divorce culture, so we want to have still our impact on the world and make sure that we do have a safety net, but also like, I want to be a good wife and a mother and like bake cookies with my kids on a random Tuesday and like cook dinner topless for my husband on a Thursday and like, you know, do these things. So it's just that kind of, I
Right.
think we need it. We really need it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what is coming to mind to me is that concept. I would like, love, wouldn't like, I would love to hear what you think about this.
Yeah,
That concept of changing hats, when you are at work, you wear your
transitioning.
masculine energy hat, and when you are at home, you wear your feminine energy hat. Do you have any thoughts regarding that?
Yeah, so that's the thing, is you can't run your business like a relationship and you can't run your relationship like a business. But in order to have them, they're both neurologically the same self-worth wound that you have to work on. That's why I blend men and marketing. But the transition between the two is, I like to literally call it a transition. Like today, I've been in meetings all day
Okay.
and then I have to go on a date. So I'm like, I'm going to go on a walk. I'm going to get in feminine energy. I'm going to get out of my masculine. I know, and I got to prove to you that I make this much money and this is what I did. And I can be excited about things. But the thing that gets in the way of our relationships is that we're excited about something, but we're also testing his masculinity to see if he approves and see if he's going to choose us and do all these kind of things, which then triggers his inadequacy wound, which then puts him in his feminine. And now you're in your masculine and you didn't actually make that transition when you got home. So
Oh,
when you get home, there is a natural feminine part to all of us. We just shut it down because we're in survival. Where, you know, you turn a house into a home. You know how to relax.
yeah.
You can cook nourishing meals. You can do things in the house. I'm not saying you have to cook and clean and what have you, but like, those are things that we naturally, when we feel safe, you're gonna want to relax and do, versus I need to get home and I need to do this and I'm going to do this so that you can then choose me. That's still in masculine energy. So there's some type of practice you can do. Like I said, with me, I like to go on walks after clients. If I'm like in between and I'm going on a date or I'm doing something, I'll like literally do like washing my hands, like just washing off the energy, something to somatically get me back into my like feminine body versus my head, because our head is where our masculine is, especially as CEOs. Like, we live here. My anxiety and my ADHD, I love her to bits. Like, my brain is my favorite part of myself. But at the same time, somatically, how can I get into my body? Like, if I'm trying to do things, I'll light a candle, I'll like get that scent going, I'll put on some different type of like shamanic music or like something that's going to get me in my body, and I start to move in like little ways and dance, so that now I'm in my feminine. Now I'm ready to be with my man. If I don't do that and I just come hot, and I have done that, it's like I'm hot and heavy and I just made 11K and I'm doing this and blah, blah, blah. It's like, I look at those things, I'm like, did I just grow a dick? Like, what just happened? Like, it's just like heavy. And like, you're allowed to have that sometimes. And like, hopefully over time, your man gets to know, like, baby, go take a bath. Go take a bath. Like, it's okay. We're hyped. Like, I'm here to hype with you. But like, you can have, I think the thing in the feminine industry is like, we shame the masculine. Like, I'm a very masculine woman, but there is the feminine part of me that wants to feel safe enough to come out. So it's figuring out where can you start to get into your body to release that, so that when you're with your man, he's the man. He is in his masculinity, because how the way polarity works is they're like magnets. If you come in hot with your masculinity, you can't have two masculinity people. It's gonna, try and put a magnet together. It doesn't work. And so he's gonna naturally be in his feminine. And so if you want to get your man to be in his masculine, this is what we do with my clients, where it's like, you just be in your feminine, your man's just naturally gonna rise. And they're like, oh man, that worked. Like, he is now like, he's ready to like eat me after work. I'm like, told you, that's how it works.
Oh my goodness, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I wonder how did you mentioned that you have a strong masculine energy side, and that you learn how to lean into the feminine energy side to make relationships work, and all the juiciness that we like in relationships. I wonder, how did you come up to that recognition that you even were in your masculine energy?
I can think back to when I was, I'm gonna say 25, 26. I
Okay.
remember sitting with one of my friends at that time, just being like, I want to be more feminine. But I'm like, but what
Okay.
the heck does that mean? I'm like, what do I get my nails done? I'm a double Libra. I'm already cute. Like, I'm already, like, my style's great. Like, what else is feminine? I don't know. But I was always
You
hidden.
felt it like,
I felt it, where it's like I'd see these women that they'd walk in a room and they're so embodied and they didn't care what was around them, and yet they were magnetized. Like, people just, like, I couldn't take my eyes off of them. And I was just like, what is it about them? And I'm like, they're so soft, they're so like voluptuous, like they're not like super built fit girls, like they're voluptuous, they're soft, they're like sacred human beings. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? And then I tried, and I was like, well, they all go to Bali, because I was living in Asia in the time. And I'm like, well, they all go to Bali and they do these things. And I'm like dancing around in these circles in Bali and like doing womb massages and shoving yoni eggs in places. And I'm like, okay, that was fun, but that's not me. Like, that was cute, but like that also was me doing things. Like, I don't feel relaxed. And it really wasn't until, looking at my life and looking at things, I was like, oh, we're highly masculine because we've never felt safe before. And
wow.
we've had to be in these roles and we had to do these things. And I was like, oh, what I saw them is they were radiating safety and embodiment. And I'm like, that has nothing to do with what I'm shoving in my yoni. It
Yeah.
has everything to do with how my nervous system is. And so I went down that route and then ended up in the somatics world.
That's awesome. So somatically, let's say our viewers are feeling anxious before they go on a date, and you did mention some ways to somatically calm yourself down,
Yeah.
to self-regulate the nervous system. You do it through a walk, you do it through washing your hands, music. Do you have any other favorite way that
Oh my God, so many. It depends what you want, right? Like, sometimes if I'm like triggered, I scream. Like, if I feel like I realistically need to run away, I literally go for a run. I'm like, we need to run somewhere. So we're just running,
that's
like we are out. And then, like, sometimes on dates, because I do have a history of domestic violence and rape, if
oh
I
wow.
feel triggered by something, like something I teach my clients, it's like my body can all of a sudden like jolt. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Now I have a lot, like, it literally doesn't happen anymore. But when this was first happening, I would recommend, and I was recommended from one of my therapists, is just stand up and walk away from the table and just show your body that you can get up and leave. Because before, because of past trauma, it was
Wow.
this, I can't leave, I'm stuck here, those kind of situations. And so I just needed to somatically show my body, I can get up, just go to the bathroom, come back, like, you're safe, you can get up and leave if you want. And so it's
Wow.
depending on what the actual feeling is in your body, like, I gotta run, I gotta whatever, like, you can get it out of your body, or you can ground into your body, or you can show yourself that you can leave and that it's safe. It just depends what your past narrative is, what is going to be best for you. But really, like, getting it out of your body is the only way to heal those types of things. So you have to get it out. It's not this whole like, okay, I'm just going to sit here and meditate. It's like, Nah, baby girl, you gotta scream, you gotta dance, you gotta move and shake and like just get it out of your body, look like a fucking wild thing for a little bit. Like you're gonna be good, and then go.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's so amazing how you drop things like nothing and they're like big bombs. Like,
I know
I
my friends
know.
do that to me. They're like, Laura, stop doing that.
Like,
But
okay, she's
because they're
starting
just
being
like
some
so used to.
Biryani. She's talking about deep trauma. I mean,
Yeah,
very, very, very traumatic things that you have been through. Those are not,
yeah,
that's not, oh my God, I didn't get the Barbie doll I wanted
yeah,
before.
yeah.
I am so, so inspired by you and
Thank
so
you.
impressed, being honest with you. So, so impressed. Um, so how did you heal from that? Did you go to therapy or by
From
yourself?
the from domestic violence, rape, there's a
Yeah,
lot. There's like drug and alcohol abuse. There's
that is amazing.
death of my mother to addiction. There's eating disorders. There's
Wow.
my there's a lot to it. All of it was somatic. I have a team of healers that I've been through over the
Okay.
years. But like deep therapy work.
Okay.
And then, I've just tried, and this is for anyone that's been through trauma, because
Right. That's
I felt for a very long time, because the things I've been through are not relatable, right? They're not the comment. They happen way more than we think, but it's also not a thing that's, like you just said, you're dropping it like it's normal, and this is not normal. It's just, but because I've done so much healing, my friends are bringing me back to this, and I'm so far from away from it. My friends are reminding me about this. They're like, there is so much context to this. It is a very important part of you, like it is sitting in it. So thank you for that reminder as well. But for anyone that's been through trauma, I remember feeling like I was too broken to be loved for the longest time. And I kept sabotaging good love with like good men after that, and feeling like anytime someone tried to love me, I would turn into a freaking gremlin. Like I could eat the nice boys alive because I didn't feel like it. And I remember this one time that one of my very best friends that I happened to date after domestic violence, I broke his cute little heart into a million pieces. And I was like, I call him the turning point man from anyone that's my audience, but I talk about him where I'm like, I'm never doing this again. And I'm going on this deep healing journey so that I can receive love and I can feel worthy of love. And so, anyone that's going through trauma, there are a million ways to heal trauma. The reason I have the way that I feel about my trauma now and I can talk about it and do the things is because I tried those million ways. And I knew if one didn't work, there would be another one. There would be another one. Like there's something somewhere that will help you.
yeah.
You just have to find whatever that is and be relentless with it. Like just because one thing didn't work, like talk therapy didn't work for me. Different types of Reiki, womb healing, dancing around and howling at the moon in Bali, like none of that worked. It wasn't until I did somatics and felt safe enough to like be that person that's like, I got to go to the car and scream really quick and like feel in my body and actually release what was stored from the 15 years of my life this was all happening, to then be in this space. Like that's what worked for me. But anyone that's on that journey, just know that there's 1,000 ways to do it.
Right.
Figure out which one works for you.
Right.
Honestly, they're all working for you. It's just waiting for your nervous system to catch up. Like it takes a little time, but
Right.
whatever feels like home to you that you can do consistently, that's the thing that's going to work.
Yes. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. That's great
Yeah.
advice, actually. It's not cookie cutter. I can
Yeah.
relate to your journey a lot too. I have been through therapies. For God's sake, I went to university to be trained as a psychotherapist. So
Me too.
you
Me
too,
too.
that
Yeah.
didn't do anything to me.
Yeah.
So yes, it's keep trying, and the future is bright.
Yeah, it really is. And that's the thing. It's like you're not too much. Your story is just the thing that made you. And I wouldn't have ever guessed I'd be speaking on podcasts and helping people fall in love and build businesses. I don't know how they even came to be, but they were
Thank
related.
God,
And
because
it's
you're so
like,
good. I
it's
mean,
just, you never know. And you just kind
yeah,
of keep going, and
yeah,
something out there, it's going to be for someone. Like even when this all started, like I never knew I was going to be a coach or be in this industry. It was always just my daughter. I don't have a daughter yet. My future daughter is never going to go through this, like
right.
generational trauma, like it ends. And that's what kept it. It was never to speak on stages or do the things I do now. It was simply like, my daughter is not going through this. Therefore, I'm healing this.
Oh my
So it
God,
stops.
I love it. You have no idea how much I can relate to what you're saying. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable. And I'm sure there are going to be viewers that are going to be relating to that. I love it. I love it. Can I say something personal?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's your interview, and I'm going to end up saying something very personal. But the reason why I'm so moved by what you said, because I feel like you are one step ahead of where I was at your age.
Mm.
You still have time to have a daughter. For me, it was too late.
Hmm.
So, in order to break the cycle and to not keep repeating that, I chose to not have kids. And I am okay with it, and I am fine, and I'm perfectly good. But I don't feel that it was a choice made in freedom. I feel like it was a choice still influenced by my past.
Yeah.
That's the part that's why I feel so happy for you, because you are like, I wish I would have been there when it's like, okay, it stops with me. I am not passing it on my kids. But no, I
Mm.
went stops with me, and then I'm not having. So
Yeah.
I lacked the confidence that I was going to be able to make it,
Yeah.
it was going to be a good
Yeah.
one.
Thank you for
So
sharing that. Thank you.
thank
And
you.
I think that's really common. Like anytime I hear a woman say like I don't want kids, that's often what I find out is underneath it. It's usually a something happened and I don't trust
Yeah.
myself with children and I don't trust my like what happened and all the things because that's how I felt until I was 25. I'm like I'm not having kids. I don't
Right.
know like
Yeah.
I'm not doing like they disgusted me. I said pregnant women look like aliens, like all the things and now like my entire saved folder on my Instagram is
Oh,
pregnant women.
I love it. Oh my goodness.
But
So
that's the
how is
healing
your
journey.
dating life going? Are we having
Yeah.
no,
So
I can't
I
wait
mean
to see you pregnant now.
I
That's
know
exciting.
I'm loving dating. I didn't have like a proper dating season ever in my life. And then I've been nomadic for the last 8 years of my life
Okay.
and then was building my businesses and things like that. And in the last 4 months, I finally planted seeds here in Florida. And I'm
I
like,
love
we are
Florida.
staying. We are ready to find our husband and make some babies and do the thing. So
Good.
that's pre-housewife era baby.
Awesome. Awesome. So getting back on agenda. I took you a little bit out of the agenda, but you're so fascinating. I love it when I meet somebody that I really get fascinated. It doesn't happen too often, so I am super with you. So I heard that you believe that your love life can be a vacation from our masculine energy, where we just get to be and receive. I love that. It inspires me. It's just so, I feel so good when I hear that. Can you say more about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think high performing women, we live in this masculine world, right? And I don't think we have to get away from it. I think that's a thing that, like I was saying earlier, it's like it's shamed that like I'm a masculine woman. And the amount of times I tell people like I could build a funnel in 2 hours, an entire landing page, and entire like training series, all the things. I can create the entire launch sequence, like all the things within like 2.5 hours, 2 hours. And everyone's like, you should slow down. This is a lot, blah, 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 all the things. And I was like, I love this part of me. Sit down. Like, it's the way my brain works. Again, going back to I have ADHD. I'm always my brain is my favorite part. But I also love the fact when I'm with a highly masculine man and I all of a sudden feel like the dumbest person in the world and I forget how to like tie my shoe even. And I'm just like, because I feel safe, right? Because I'm like, you plan everything. I know exactly when I open my door, that door is going to be open. My seatbelt's on me. I don't care where we're going. I know you already looked up to make sure that I would love it. Like I don't have to think and I trust you with all my decision making. And
Oh,
then all of a sudden I'm back in reality. I'm like, oh my God, my brain. Like I don't remember how it works. But like it's so nice to do that because it's like I do love my masculine, but the older I'm getting, the more I'm realizing I posted a reel about this. Like, I want to retire. Like, I don't want to do it anymore. Like, I want to come home and just like not have to think. And not that like not taking care of a household isn't hard, but like it's a different type of energy where I'm giving, which is, I'm just like relationships and giving and receiving and like dancing and doing these kind of things. It's like, it's just softer. And so you get a break from this like CEO, I have to protect myself and I'm taking care of these 100 clients and I'm doing this and I have to speak in this authority. And you come home and you're like, feed me and tell me I'm pretty. Thank you. And you just get to be a girl. Like, I think it's so fun to bounce between it.
I love it. And this is as a colleague, I mean, as a professional, I'm not sure if the viewers are going to find value on this, but I was talking with my husband the other day, and I was saying how we become what we do.
Mhm.
We were talking about divorce lawyers and
And how they're all
for my
divorced.
reasons, I had to be on that. And so one of his clients is a divorce lawyer and he's getting divorced. So that's what I said. It's like, well, if he's all day long hearing how people are cheating on each other and, going through that horrible phase, chances are it's going to affect your relationship with your wife. So, and then with our profession, the same could happen, that we fall in love so much, being in our masculine energy all of our life, and all of a sudden we find this vacation, this sacred space where we really feel good, because it feels good to be in our feminine energy.
Oh my God, so good.
That, how hard it's the challenge could become changing the heart to be in our masculine energy, like what you're saying, that you're realizing. I mean, what I heard is that you're realizing that you just want to be in your feminine energy, and because
Exactly.
and that's awesome. There is no right or wrong. We all are on a journey.
Exactly. And I think it's the sooner you come back to self of like you're a multifaceted human being and you don't actually have to choose one. And if you want to be safe and like silly and you want to just like be, because I think we all want that. We want to get home and we don't want to be who we are outside. Like, and not that it'd be, we're fake or whatever, but when you're in partnership, it is a lot different. And like to not have to like, I always say this, like wag your dick around and like talk about your authority and like look how much money I make and all the things I do, which is kind of what our industry is. It's like, show me your results, show me the things you do. Like it is very ego driven, and I don't say it's a bad thing. I like my ego too, but like it is a industry that we work in, and then to come home and have someone like they don't care. Just like my best friend, she's never listened to my podcast. She doesn't. I go, Marina, describe my business. She just lists off a whole bunch of things. And I'm like, so you have no idea what I do. She's like, what would we talk about? Like, it humbles me. It really humbles me. But like, same thing with my partners. Like, they will support me in whatever I do. But it's like, it's not that like, you're not the leader of me here. I'm the leader of you kind of energy. And that feels so good to finally be like, I'm the small fry. Take care of me. And it's just like to be protected is such a sacred feeling.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. What will you say to a woman that is a little bit apprehensive to embody her feminine energy because she's afraid, and that's a key word, or she's concerned, which is all the same, that she's going to be seen as weak or as a bimbo, I don't know how like no brained. What would you say to somebody like that?
Yeah, this is the biggest roadblock with it, huh? We're just like, oh, but I'll be weak and he'll think I'm dumb and look at all my achievements. What I have to say to you is you have a father wound. Let's talk about that. What that is. Because as soon as you heal that, you don't freaking care. Like, it's just like, it's not weak, because the truth is the man's the head, but you're the freaking spine. So the thing about a powerful feminine woman, I was actually writing about this earlier, is like everything in my life is orchestrated. Like to where I live, to who I meet, to how things happen, to the energy that I want, to the way that even my house is set up, to all the things. It's all been orchestrated since I was 25 years old, because that's what feminine women do. We manipulate energy, and no one wants to actually talk about what feminine energy is, but it is. We have been manipulating energy for centuries. Why do you think wars started? Like, we control men so much that they start freaking wars over love. Like, that's how powerful a feminine woman is. Can it be used for bad? Yes. Have we seen bimbo women? Yes, but I wouldn't even say that that's feminine energy. I would say that's wounded just damsel in distress vibes. When you're a strong feminine woman, the thing that I like to think about and what I talk about with my clients is the whole idea of, I know I can do it, I don't want to anymore. And I think we all need to get to this space of knowing that you can survive on your own. You can build the business, you can make money, you can do whatever, you can run the freaking marathon. I don't care what it is. I think you do have to get to that point of like, I think men have to go on this whole pleasure seeking journey so that they can lose themselves to it and they can live their frat boy lifestyle. So then they can come back home and realize pleasure is actually nothing. And then I think women have to go on this journey of, you have to actually create something, learn that you can provide for yourself. We have to like switch roles for a little bit to then come back to the polarity and sit here and go, I can provide for myself. I don't freaking want to anymore. I've shown myself I can. And so if you're feeling that about yourself and you're feeling like you're weak in this, it's like, one, go look at your fatherhood wound first and foremost and work with someone on that. And then also, if you feel like you need to provide for yourself, go do something that shows that you can. And then I promise you, you're going to get it. And you're going to do what every woman that I've ever worked with, myself included, you get to the top and you go, I need someone to share this with, and I don't want to do this anymore.
Right.
That was me with a Christmas tree. I was setting up the Christmas tree and I was like, I know I can't do this and I don't want to anymore. And I was like, okay, we're done. Let's work on feminine energy. And then you realize it's not weak anymore and how powerful it is, because you're actually, you know, learning how to use it for good, where it's like you benefit because now you feel like a man and I get what I want. This works.
Love it. Thank you. That's brilliant. Can I ask you one last question?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a manifestation question that I told you before. So,
Yeah.
how is manifestation? Like, what is manifestation and how it works? I know it's probably something that you can talk for 10 days nonstop, but do it in a few minutes for us.
Yeah. Manifestation is whatever your subconscious believes to be true. So it doesn't matter how much you write something down in your journal that you want it. If your body doesn't feel safe enough or worthy to achieve it, you're going to always attract your biggest fear
Wow.
versus your deepest desire. So you actually have to go in and do some neurological reprogramming in order to get your manifestation. So a lot of us are in this world of like, let's make a vision board and let's write it in my journal 10,000 times that I want to have 10K months. And I'm like, okay, first off, if you're not actually building something to do that, to show your nervous system that it's safe, to actually get people around you that are doing that already, and you're just sitting at home on your couch writing it in your journal, nope, you're living in fear. That's not going to work. So the way manifestation works is you actually have to go into the brain, do some healing around that, do some stuff in your body so that you can actually, it's 444, actually feel safe within your body for that manifestation to come through. And so if you haven't been having any luck in that department, that's usually where your block is. You actually have to show your body and your subconscious it's safe, and then you have to take aligned action. You can't just, I'm sorry, we don't live in this world where it's like, I will rub my yoni and all of a sudden I have $1 million and the most delicious Viking in the world. Like, I wish that's how it worked, but we kind of live in a really messed up world. And so we got some healing we got to do in order to make it safe for those things to come through.
Right. Laura, you are brilliant. You are brilliant. And I am so happy I asked you to be one of the experts.
Thank you.
You're talented, you're cute as hell, and I cannot wait to follow your journey and see who is the damn lucky man that wins your heart. Do you have like a type or some? I know we don't go by type, but you know, do you have any
I
standard?
mean, since I got back in America, it's like these Latin men, but we'll see if I'll be
I'm
switching
Latin.
them.
You
So.
hear my accent?
Yeah,
You're
yeah. I'm
Latin.
like, it's the Latin men.
Yeah, they're good. They're good.
Yes, but I have been coming in conflict with it because my masculine like get things done, and they're like, I want to sleep on a Saturday, and I'm like, I would love to learn how to sleep in on a Saturday. So we're coming into conflict on that, but
Yes.
working on
Well,
it.
you should go to my homeland, Argentina.
Ooh,
Yes. You should go
I'm
there
in.
for a few months. You can work
Find a
for,
husband, come back.
you are gonna have so many guys that are gonna adore you, and they're very handsome, very smart, hard workers, and they're very good men. So
Yeah.
you should go, if you want to find it fast, go down there.
Just go there. Just buy a ticket, guys. I'll be back.
I mean, I'm biased, but my husband is American. It's, born and raised
Yeah.
here, but I did date Argentinian men for, 10 years, and
Yeah.
they're awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Really good.
Latin. Y'all Latins. Yeah, you got me. It's so funny. My best friend, she's Puerto Rican. So her and her mom will always go out. And I'm the one that's like teaching everyone how to salsa dance. And all of a sudden I'm like singing lyrics to songs. I don't know. It's just coming out of me. And her mom will be like looking at me and she's like, is Laura confused about her race? And my best friend's like, all the time, literally all the time. This is what she does. She's confused. I'm like, it's
No,
okay,
you
but
are not confused. You're just open-minded. You are
I
here
know.
for
I'm like,
energy.
this is
You're
where I
just
belong. What do you guys mean?
fun. Yes, expressing yourself. And I love it, love it, love it. I know you have a gift for our viewers. Would you mind to share what the gift is about?
Yes. So, it's called the Pre-Housewifey Experience, Triple X Experience. So I am breaking down. In the last 6 months, I went ham and potatoes in my life on finding extraordinary men and 10xing my business using the Pre-Housewife foundations that I shared a little bit about here. But in that training, I'm breaking everything down so that you can do it too, because a thing in my brand is I blend men and marketing because they're literally the same thing. And too many of us are putting off our businesses in order to attract men, or we're putting off men in order to attract our businesses, when from a subconscious point, they're the same thing. We just have to learn to transition between them. So I show you how to do that in this free training.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fabulous. I'm gonna sign up right now
Yes.
and get it myself. And ladies, it's gonna be on the email that I'm gonna be sending. So thank you, thank you. I already told you, how amazing you are, how happy I am with the value you are giving to these ladies. This is unbelievable. I just feel so good. Your energy is off charts. And yeah, as I said, I'm really curious to see who is the lucky man. Oh my goodness. Do you want to say
So,
something else before we go
um,
apart?
just that if you're in the season of transition and you're looking to 10x and you're looking to expand who you are, it's very normal to feel like an imposter. It's very normal to feel scared. It's very normal to feel any of these things. And I think when we go to summits like this, you hear people talk and then all of a sudden you're like, this is amazing. And then you have analysis paralysis and nothing gets done. The biggest thing, I say this on my podcast all the time, take advice and do something. The reason things haven't changed in your life is because you haven't taken action. You're just listening. Whatever it is that you got from this, I would love for you to, on my Instagram, come hang out. It's Laura Patricia Martin, or anywhere, like anyone that jives with you, go tell them the action you're taking. That's how you start actually getting results in your life. If you're just listening and you're being quote unquote inspired, there's a reason nothing's changed. You need to actually take aligned action. So invitation, this is my dominatrix energy to kick you in the ass to go do something, but go do something. Like, there's a lot of advice. There's a lot of incredible people on this summit. Thank you again for putting this all together, but just like, go do something with this now and actually make the change that in your soul. Like, that's the thing that I see a lot with people is like, how do I get confidence and how do I get leadership? It's often, you could be doing better and you're not. That's what's blocking you. Like, you could be doing better now. Go do something that makes you one of the elite. That's my tidbit.
Wonderful. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, the feminine energy is not passive. It's
Yes.
not passive at all. And would you mind sharing your podcast? I'm gonna place the link to your podcast.
Yeah. It's called Healing to Happy.
Healing the Happy. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm gonna subscribe too. So you already
Yes.
got one more at least.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.